All right, well, yeah, let's get started. We'll jump into some gi footage, none of which I have seen. Let's see what y'all been up to. Looks like we got Big Dan. And
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who.
His name's Chase. He was an intro that day.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Was he, I take it he's rolled before?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a few months worth of experience, and he was game to train hard. So.
Well, you picked a good partner for it.
Yeah.
Let's see what we just had. Cam and Steven up here by the pillar.
Right.
So like Cam hit a little double ankle sweep. Steven shutting him down, coming up to mount with those pinch knees. And then who's the young guy next to the pillar sitting by himself? Anthony, I believe, new student.
Anthony. Yep.
Yeah. Steven with the big step over. Yeah, Anthony was telling me he's I think he's got a lot of time right now. He's a younger dude, so Steven looking out for cracking heads against Dan there. Good looks.
Right.
Yeah, Anthony was saying he's gonna be training as much as he possibly can lately, so looking forward to seeing what he brings to the mats. He's pretty fresh, but he's an athlete. He's quite an athlete already, so I think he's gonna be pretty good at jiu-jitsu. What happened with Dan? I assume Dan Paper Cutter. Yeah. Yeah, Daniel definitely knows his game and doesn't hesitate to play it. Yeah. Yeah, I think all of us have experienced his Paper Cutter at this point. He is quite beastly with it.
Yeah.
Steven doing a good job of keeping Camden's knees pointed away from him as he works on passing and pinning. Good stuff.
Daniel's playing bottom. You don't get to see him play bottom all too much.
Yeah.
And comes up on top.
Doesn't take too long.
Yeah.
And what'd you say his partner's name was?
Chase.
Jace? Okay.
Chase.
Gotcha.
Yeah, CH. Yep.
What's up, Brandon? How you doing, bud?
What's up?
How you been? You just been busy dealing with some injuries or something? I haven't seen you on the mats in the spotty few times I've been there in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same. I was gonna actually message a few people. It's a weird time of year. All the schools get out, people take vacation and stuff. So
Yeah. I mean, I've been traveling enough. Steven wrestling up on the double. Pulled a back muscle. That'll do it, man. My lower back's been killing me lately too. I was doing standing guard breaks at a private lesson the other day and was like having the hardest time just standing up to like the square stance, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a nice inside trip. I had Jason down there on Brandon.
Oh yeah, good. Blocked right behind it, drove through. Of course, the two of them training without the gi.
Yeah.
Can't blame them.
Yeah, it was pretty hot that day too.
Anthony's probably like, what the hell? I just got this gi. I'm at gi class, and everybody takes it off.
I think got chased with just some old school shoulder of justice.
Oh, yeah. I mean, again, can't blame him. I think Daniel's pretty forthright with it. He has said to us, he's like, I'm a big guy. I play a big guy's game.
Yeah.
And you got to do the best you can to like not get pinned under those pressure points, you know.
Oh yeah.
Learning how to relieve shoulder pressure is an important beginner skill anyway. So
for sure.
You let the white belts figure it out. I think Jason and Brandon just decided to roll through.
Yeah, I think they start working on stuff.
Steven's like, no, I'm gonna pull guard.
Yeah, so Daniel goes for the over-under pass, kind of baiting the triangle.
Yeah, let's see this again. Yeah, and I threw a triangle up on him. I think when we were training Nogi the other day, and he's pretty confident. Like he can kind of smash out of it fairly easily. So like, I can understand why he would bait it if he's confident that he can press forward,
right,
and use it as a passing opportunity. You know, I guess I wouldn't typically advise that, like throwing yourself into a submission threat to get a pass. It's kind of a heavy trade-off, but if you've got the confidence in your escapes and your posture and your pressure, if it works for you, I guess go for it. Just got to be ready for the guy who can keep that triangle like Austin could or something.
Right.
Swear to God, Camden, I'll never break him of that like legs from the bottom mount habit. Yeah. Try as I might. Look, did you see what Caleb just did?
Mm-hmm.
He said, I'm gonna get off mount, put myself into half guard, and step around for the cross ashi. It's one way to do it.
Yep.
That's an interesting leg entrance. What's up, James? How you doing, brother?
What's up?
How things going with your neck, man? What's the status?
Yeah, hopefully you'll be back soon.
All right, so Brandon doubled his way into half guard or into a closed guard here, which I'm not mad about, right? He gets down on the legs, drives through, Jason throws up closed guard, but now he's got to focus on getting his posture back. I don't know. This is kind of a sketchy spot to be. Like right here, I was pushing on the leg. If Jason gets wrist control here and throws his right leg up and over the shoulder, Brandon's gonna find himself in a top lock, threat of a triangle. A lot of forward pressure here. He could just sit butt to heels, start working to his standing guard break. Jason's opened his guard at this point, so Brandon's got to recognize that. Not rolling for a little after
What
that.
happened with Daniel and Steven? They reset.
Who gives a shit? Daniel on the pass. Steven trying to regard.
I couldn't tell whether they reset because they were over on the edge or...
Might have been, yeah. Yeah, I think so. Steven's legs look like or maybe Dan. Did Dan have a...
Yeah, it was a paper cutter choke. That's what it was.
Typical.
Yeah.
Typical.
Yeah, because I remember talking to Steven about it afterward. He was like, I was inverted up underneath. I thought I had hooks in and everything. And
I'm not mad about it, man. I like that he works those so much.
Oh, yeah. we'll only get better about it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, because that is, I mean, you know, we've seen Caleb trying to work those a lot lately, which is great. In a way, kind of preparing us for someone like Daniel to just start hitting them from everywhere and recognizing the threat of them and, you know, which way Daniel may leave us to turn into it or you know, get ourselves out of it. So the whole, I'm not calling him a one-trick pony because I've rolled with him and he has a lot of different looks and threats that he likes to experiment with and throw up. But that person who has like that one go-to that's just really solid, you know, think about like Ronda Rousey when she got into the UFC. Like, people give you shit for, you know, they call you like a one-trick pony or whatever. It's like, well, learn to stop it. If that's the case, like if everybody's getting caught with it, it's their fault. Learn to stop it. I like what Caleb did here. Right here.
Yep.
Just the way he captured the ankle with his leg. Got up to top position. It's good, James. I'm glad you're going to be back, man. Just come chill on the mats. I know it. The worst part about it, especially, you know, you're as eager to roll as any of us would be, I'm sure. So it sucks when you're injured. You got to sit on the side, but it's helpful. It's helpful just to keep things kind of polished, at least mentally, you know. All right, Brandon. I know you like taking the gi off here, but like right here. I mean, as he's coming up around Jason, this is like bow and arrow territory here, right? Which you can only do with the gi on. So maybe warm up to it a little bit. Don't be so eager to throw it off, because you're in a great angle to start hitting bow and arrow strangles, and there's a lot you get to do with the gi that you can like jump to immediately when it comes to strangles that you maybe have to work up for in no gi, you know, like through hand fighting and all that stuff. So throw the gi on. Don't be afraid of it, even though it's hot. Caleb being a bully.
That's a nice grip break.
Yeah.
He did.
Steven's trying real hard to stay on, I think it was an arm bar or something. Oh, he had me in a very similar position yesterday when we were rolling. He threw his leg up over the back and eventually got a tap on me. I can't remember exactly how it ended.
Those inversions can be really tricky for the guy on top.
Yeah. Caleb coming in hot.
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to move my... Everybody has just chosen to watch you two get after it. There we go. I don't think I've gotten to see Cole and Daniel roll yet.
I
know they have.
His sacrifice throw, that lap drop. That
Yeah.
He does. Very well timed.
Yeah, that's a fair. That's like the kind of like an Udi Geishi, I believe it's called. Doesn't quite. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't like quite sit through all the way, but he gets the turn where basically using. What was that?
He gets a ton of torque off of it.
Right. Yeah. He like essentially puts the arm into a Kimura position, and you just gotta go with it. Ah, Jason.
You said a guillotine?
Yeah, so Jason, it looked like he shot in on a single here. And Steven caught him in the guillotine. So Jason shoots in with his head on the outside. It must have been pretty deep because it looked like Jason tapped pretty quickly on that one. But I mean, Jason, if you shoot enough of those, man, and really focus on the takedown itself and the actual like the how you guys travel to the ground, how you hit, and how you maneuver around the legs. Even if you do leave the head on the outside, you can eventually, pretty easily shut down that guillotine threat. It's just you really got to focus on landing like cross-eyed or you can work to control his hands a bit and try to like shut down his grip on your neck. But I think leg positioning is going to be a better thing to focus on in the long run for you. I like how much Caleb's switching here. Like, he's side control, trying to attack the forearm, working the knee on belly. He sits to, I don't know if I'd call it, let's see if it was case. I don't think he really had, like, your arm up, but yeah, you're doing a good job pushing him away, so he switches his hips. Now he's pinning at your head. He's going at north-south. Doing a really great job of, like, trying to disrupt your frames as best as he can.
Yep, and he does a really good job of it.
Steven digging on the Kimura on Jason. Excellent.
That was a really nice Kimura trap.
Yeah.
Back take.
So he's working to get his bottom leg free. You see him sneak it out. Like right here, that leg sticking through is Steven's. Like he gets his grip set up, extracts the leg.
Yep.
Really good. And then he goes to a reverse top lock position.
Yep, that's a favorite of mine as well. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, Jason.
Okay. But I mean, yeah.
Killer. Really, really killer. Good timing from Steven. Trying to watch both of these matches at the same time. I'm missing stuff. Alright, so let's go back real quick. So Jason, I think he recognizes Steven opens a guard. I like how much he's controlling the legs here.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy pass around the side.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was nice.
Yeah, and nothing like highly technical about it. Just controlling legs, cutting his ankle, working with Steven's, working against Steven's reguarding that he was trying to do.
Right.
And I don't know what Steven caught him in, but it looked like he snatched like an Americana from bottom. You're right. Yeah.
It was. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't. Yep.
Oh, Jason, that's gotta suck. I'm sure he was bummed about that. Look, whatever, man. Everything about that roll was Up until then, it was looking good.
Yeah, man, it was good. I finally got on top the last 30 seconds, maybe
Yeah,
minute of the match.
Let's look at this.
Cam was not moving.
I wasn't sure what he was like, what he was trying to do with half guard there.
He was
Like, what his
trying
intentions
to. Yeah, he was trying to, you know, like sit crossways on me, right? Sit into a reverse underhook, but he left his arm behind, and so when he left his arm behind, I immediately made a wrist grip down there, and he didn't like it. He knew that his arm was going to be in danger, and so he tucked his arm, and so I just used it to my advantage and started digging over, and then eventually went for a hip bump sweep, basically, in half guard. So boom, and then strong bump.
Yeah, and I think just a really good little detail here. You keep that leg hooked, right?
Yeah.
You didn't. I think a lot of people when they bridge, you know, they maybe instinctively think, you know, both feet planted, explode out, roll around, whatever. And you look very like you did this deliberately. You know, you undid the triangle that you had a second ago, right? The figure four you had on his leg. You use your right leg to plant, and that's where the power of that bridge came from. Because if you took this hook off and tried to like use your foot as an additional, I don't want to call it the power foot because your right leg is the power foot here, but just as an additional oomph into your bridge, you just would have stepped right around, you know, to pass your guard. So you stayed hooked on him. You had his base taken away with the right arm, and he didn't. I don't think he. Maybe he didn't move in time or think in time to try to kickstand out his right leg.
Right.
And by that
he was
point,
also
he was
grabbing
over.
his. Yeah, he was grabbing his own leg with his hand. So I think he kind of trapped himself there.
Gotcha.
But either way, I knew that it was only 30 seconds left or so, so I was trying to submit him on that arm.
Yeah, I think he was doing his best to try to dig in on deep half.
Yep.
I just want to call out. Sorry, go ahead.
No, which he's been doing very effectively lately. He's digging that really hard.
Just wanted to call out Jason's like, I don't know if you call that. It's kind of a cow catcher.
Yeah.
Just to flip Steven over here. That was solid. I think he may have had an opportunity to like take the back here. Steven did a good job rolling with it. And like squaring back up. Yeah, it may have been a little. Steven may have gotten the jump on that, but like if I think if Jason had the head in here, he could have possibly controlled that a little bit more. Poor Jason.
Steven and Brandon. Can't remember who I trained with next. What was that? Was that just a really...
Oh, good little
butterfly.
scissor sweep.
Yeah. Says it, yeah.
Keep missing it.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. So before we get too far, it looks like Cole for now gets the jump on that, but I like the I like how, you know, here he gets an underhook, a shallow one, but nothing to be ignored. And your immediate response is to start barreling in and like disrupting his legs, getting him stepping. Like that stuff Bertram likes to drill with us all the time. Like those deep steps into the leg to split the legs and then start. I think you go in for like an inside trip here, yeah. But like it's like you're not giving him a chance to utilize that underhook. Right.
That's right.
Right after he sets it in, you're immediately trying to get him second guessing it or something, you know?
Yep. Yeah, you can't let somebody, especially somebody who's bigger, kind of bully you around, right?
Yeah. Nice. I have Stephen Brandon there. Brandon sits. Steven just steps around. Oh, he almost got the back. I think Brandon's trying real hard to work on like some wrestling.
Yeah.
Just leaving himself open to some moves. And here's the thing, like right here, what he's doing here, what made this bad is that he didn't then cut an angle or try, like, you know, his left knee stays here instead of like circling around trying to pivot around to Steven. Yeah, Steven instead pivots around on him, and it's smart that he took his arm out of there because he about leg trapped himself, which is not a spot to be on the back.
That's Caleb rolling with Chase.
Caleb and Chase, yeah. Let's go back to you and Cole here. So you take him over. You guys end up in half guard.
Yep. And I have double unders here.
Yeah.
I
For a second.
And then I switched to my more favorite, like, the grip that I like the most, which is in the underhook on the far side. Here he's keeping a really good frame, like the flare with his knee.
Mm-hmm.
It was very difficult for me to start collapsing his knees. What I'm trying to do is try and get my shin on the inside of his knee so that I can start cutting across the opposite side of his body to go to. No, I want to take him to his right hip, and then I want to go around to the backside. And he's doing a really good job of flaring his knee out to prevent that particular movement. It's kind of like when you're trying to pass somebody's knee shield. He had that strong of a frame.
Yeah.
Gets that hook in, and it feels very unsettling.
Alright, so let's look at Brandon working the standing guard break. Alright, looked like he was working a knee splitter. Or, I'm sorry, like a log splitter.
Yep.
Knee up the middle, okay. I would still advise standing up to upright posture. Right there,
Always.
Yeah,
Always.
That's the hardest thing, I think, for people to get comfortable with doing because you feel so off balance. But yeah, gotta work it in. Gotta work it in, Brandon. Like next time you're training after class, I might pull you aside and force you to do it a bit.
was able to come up and close the distance on me and make a good, strong
Yeah.
upper body connection. I'd let him get too close, and then from there, he keeps. When he gets a really tight upper body connection, he also can ball up and get into like to make it to where he's got a very good lower body connection with me as well.
Yeah.
So
And that's, I mean, look here, you're almost in like mount essentially, except he has the double overhooks.
that's right.
So like your hip position is, you know, you could say it's like superior, but he and he had that one knee in, so he was able to slide up through and not just be in close guard. Sorry, I interrupted.
No, that's the exactly what I was gonna say. So yeah, and so I mean the thing, he gets that sweep, and then I'm basically starting from ground zero again. I'm stuck on bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, and not in close guard either.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm in half guard with no knee shield, so I'm very vulnerable here. So my whole goal is to start getting frames back in, and setting it.
Yeah. I'd like to see him using some more effective gripping here. Like right here, you know, you're making it quite obvious which side you're trying to escape on. And he's cross facing well, but he's using a no-gi sort of game, right? His hand right there, he made a little bit too much space. Maybe he's basing, but like he's not gripping inside the lapel and cranking your face in the other direction, like making you look opposite the direction that you're trying to turn to shut that down. And that, I mean, that's the beauty of having the gi on, at least if you're trying to shut down that sort of thing. Nice. Let's take it back a few seconds with Steven and Brandon, and maybe Caleb and Chase.
Chase, or did Caleb get Chase with a paper cutter as well? Yeah, I think so. Oh no, he attacked the far arm.
Oh, okay, yeah, you get the Americana, I guess. Or knowing Caleb was probably a wrist lock.
Yeah.
And then Steven with the arm bar.
Yes, no, I'm training with Chase. Yeah. Cole and Steven.
RJ is by far the smallest person in the room. She's always down to train with the big dogs.
Mm-hmm. You gotta, like, Daniel is such a good training partner too.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
She's a little monster. Alright, Cole. Controlling the head. Nice. Obviously, the first thing to say about that sweep from Cole is, you know, the low-hanging fruit here is to say he muscled it, but he absolutely didn't, right? Like if you look at, trying to see where, all right, so Steven has the cross face and is little heavy, like his head is far over the, you know, it's over the far arm here. I like what Cole does right. Where is it? Right here.
Which is heavy, yep.
Yeah, and it's enough to, I think, block Steven from posturing up and getting his weight back, getting his butt to his heels, getting his weight back on the side that was shut down the sweep, so Cole can drop elbow pressure into the back of Steven's head. And he's got the belt grip, which allows Cole to lift him up and kind of, sort of bench press him away. But really, less of a bench press and more just guiding him through the direction of the bridge. And he's got a strong bridge here too, right? He's using both legs. And I don't think Steven could really do anything to shut that down. I think it was a little late for him. So it was just really good timing and good mechanics on Cole's part. RJ's almost got herself in an armbar here, but I think her leg got caught underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Cole working to the arm triangle. I guess Steven got his arm down or something. Cole didn't get the arm triangle here. And left way too much space. So did Chase seem like he had a game or like a favorite thing he was trying to work, or?
He was very enthusiastic.
Yeah.
Whatever he was doing, he put everything into it, and yeah, I mean, he surprised me with one of these. He basically Upa'd me here.
There you go.
Yep, and I was on the arm, and I wanted to keep it because I felt like I could finish, and he wouldn't tap to it, so decided to take him back over and get another game plan together.
RJ is leaping for takedowns.
When I'm training with somebody who I feel like is going to be very resistant to tapping, I tend to switch over to strangles and set myself up for those, because you can't play with them,
Yeah. Good lesson for RJ here. Just putting herself right into an arm triangle, a katagatame.
Mm-hmm.
If she watches this, I think we've all made this mistake of holding onto the guillotine, or the front headlock when our opponent gets to cross side. And for any white belts in the chat or lurking around or for posterity, you don't do that. You let go of that. Because that's how you get either Von Flued or, like Daniel does here, just a quick hop over the body to the other side and you're in an arm triangle or katagatame. So you're better off letting go of that, assuming your opponent hasn't shut down your ability to let go of it yet, and using or trying to use that arm as a frame to create space as opposed to holding onto the head and hoping for a strangle that is just not going to come. And even right here, she's clutching onto this arm. She's switched up to what you could call a shoulder crunch, but it's just not the right position to work a shoulder crunch grip. And Daniel graciously shows her exactly why you don't want to do that. Steven trying to work the like a compressor strangle. It looked like a compression choke or like the camel clutch or whatever you call it.
Mm-hmm.
Cole's just not having it. Was that a shoulder crunch on oh yeah, with Chase. You took him over the far side.
I did. Yeah. I got him. We did a bow and arrow right before that, and then he wanted me to reset. And yeah, so I finished the bow and arrow here, and then he had me reset because he wanted to see if he can get out of it. And so he rolled right through, and then I dug in immediately for the shoulder crunch to get back on top. He was pretty worn down at this time. He trained a good amount.
Yeah. Looked like he was getting his time in.
He's wrapping my leg up with his lapel. And it completely pinned my leg.
It's a man after Justin's heart.
Yeah.
It really is annoying how much that constricts the leg.
Yes.
I think Justin last week was doing some of his lapel gripping work with me when we were standing, and I just like I stretched away from his grip and just like smashed through it like with my wrist, like a palm, basically a palm strike. It was definitely more of a strike to break the grip, and it broke it. And he's like, "Oh, no one's actually broken that grip before." I'm like, "Yeah, well, I just had to like basically box my way out of it. I feel like I had to punch your arm off of me. It's such a solid grip. Don't want to get it established. It'll never happen again. Do it. Try me. I'm just gonna start closed fist punching you in the wrist every time you grip me like that.
He's got somebody's lapel, I don't know, wrapped around my neck right here.
Yeah.
And I'm finding just like little bits of places that I can breathe. And
yeah.
Here he comes around, and he wanted something. I don't know exactly what he wanted from here. But I was able to roll through and regard.
Nice.
Comes through and swishes. That's the paper cutter, what he's doing now.
Right.
And I'm feeling like finding that elbow, right? Like that's my goal.
Yeah, just to sneak under and
his right elbow, right? See how I'm constantly pushing his arms over onto that side of my head.
You get it on you?
And that way, then I think it was the third attempt he got it. And what he did, can you go back real quick? Because it was interesting the way that I felt it. And it doesn't seem to be the way that I thought.
So he's working the
No, it is.
Americana.
Yeah. Okay. So here, check this out. It's really cool. So he came through with his left hand and started blocking my hip
Yeah.
here. So he like reinforced
Sorry, let me go
my
back further.
left hip.
Yeah.
So he,
Right here.
yeah, he makes a switch, and so instead of trying to block my far hip, he comes around to the near side hip.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and when he did that, as soon as he started to rotate, my hips couldn't track him as well, so he always could beat me in that shift. And as soon as he did that, there was, even if I was able to start getting up underneath the elbow like I normally do, he wouldn't come far enough in order for me to be able to shift and continue to, and let him pass over, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
He basically like offset the like, whether it be the cadence or the position of my hips relative to his hips, and that was enough for me to have like a I had to rethink in a split second what to do, and I could not figure out what needed to happen. So we're talking through it now, is like what I felt was him dig into that hip as he started to switch.
Gotcha.
And that was I was trying to tell him, I'm like, whatever you did right there, like that was a good finish, because I couldn't slip it.
Yeah.
I was like, don't take this as I'm not criticizing, I'm not trying to coach you, right? Like, you just submitted me.
There,
I was like, but whatever you just did, do it again, because that was
and tell
really
me
good.
how you did it.
Yeah.
Look at Steven and Caleb here. Nice. That was nice. It looks like Steven kept Caleb from standing back up and maybe pulled him a little bit over to where his head was getting too far away, like out over his feet, making his feet really light, putting him off balance. And Steven was in the perfect situation to redirect that up.
Good awareness by Dan. Like, I don't know, I'm normally able to entangle my legs in between me and the other person, and the way that he's constantly switching from back, like one side to another,
Yeah.
throwing my legs and then controlling them, right? He's not just like throwing them haphazardly by. He's always got those very good pants grips.
Yeah.
Always trying to keep my knees pointed in the direction that he wants them to be pointed in. Yeah, so really good job there. And his knee on belly feels miserable.
Oh, Caleb. That's Steven in a bad spot there for a second. Right at the bell. Gotta make Jason put his damn gi back on. Someone a little closer to RJ's size now. So I think with RJ's, with her speed and agility and maneuverability, if we can get her to not fear closing the distance, right? We keep seeing her pop in real fast from like way out here, and instead start working from about like this distance, and really starting to focus there. She can still use all that same speed. I mean, a smaller person's game, if you're a smaller, lighter person and you like that more speed-based approach to passing, you don't have to be shooting in from way outside. You'll never be faster than the other person at squaring up. When you're working from outside, you still need to slow them down a bit and like outmaneuver them, kind of like we saw Ryan with Cole on this past Wednesday's stream, when he was really using good footwork to outmaneuver, and it's speed based, but it's a different sort of approach than just trying to run around or shoot past people really fast or anything like that. Oh. Collision there. Looks like Jason's really trying to use his inside trips here today.
Yeah.
He hits Caleb with one here. Or tries to.
Yeah, there's definitely, he's seeing that as something that's working for him, and he is continuing to do that. So, I mean, I think we've said it. It's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of times what's going to be really good as he works on those is he'll hit him and not he'll be able to control the leg and not end up in close guard and put himself into a half guard, which will be much more productive when it comes to doing the next thing he needs to do when you get the fight to the ground, which is pass. So if you can work those inside trips and start finishing in half guard, that's going to be a big improvement for him.
Yeah, agreed. You don't see Caleb where he's at very often in a close guard.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out whether he's like navigating through or what's going on there.
Probably because everybody passes his guard so easily,
Oh no, he's trying to dig in for shield back. There it is.
Yeah.
Figured as much. Yep.
Nice. Something I really want to start working on, and I just saw this pointed out from like a Gordon Ryan technique video or something, because I think he just released a half guard thing, half guard instructional. Like when someone's digging on deep half, which Caleb's not doing right now, but when he was, rather than using the crossface, which we definitely, I know you and I try to crossface Luke's nose off like every time he tries to shoot deep half on us. Like it's effective, but Gordon talks about using your head in place of the crossface. So instead of that deep cross and like the sprawl, he switches and takes the head from over the far side shoulder, like that cross side shoulder, to the near side, blocks the head with his own head, and then that frees up his hand to work his passes and all that stuff while still maintaining the underhook on the far side. Which, yeah, that's not something I can say I've done a lot of. So I'd like to see how that works. As far as like, keeping a good base when you're doing that, and just how mechanically advantageous it is. God, I want Camden to invert so bad right now. It's like Steven really wants to get on the bow and arrow.
Trying to kip, and it is not working in the game.
I was making everybody kip the other day on
Yeah.
on Saturday. Yeah, I was trying to get everybody to do it. We went over mount escapes, and I had them doing some bridging escapes based on like what we saw from Joe in Wednesday's stream. Just more live situations, and then we worked on elbow escapes and some of the things you run into there. And I was like, all right, you're all gonna suck at this. And I taught him how to do kipping escapes. Caleb is just about on Camden's back right now. He's got to slip the head. I try so hard to not end up in this position with Steven.
Yeah, I don't know what I do that's any different than anybody else.
You just don't tap.
That's true. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, like, leaving the foot here to create space and keep his hips at a distance is like, yeah, that's a great idea. And then he just hits you with this.
I mean,
you did.
So, what's that?
Steven said I tried so hard there.
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, it felt good. I mean, it's threatening as soon as he does it. I really think, and I know we were talking about it, Steven, after class, but I think that the reason why I feel comfortable with these, with ankle locks, with heel hooks, with the leg attack, or the legs, is if I have mobility in my hips, then I feel fine. So can you go back just a little bit, just to, I guess, emphasize the point? But so here I put foot on the hip, he snatches, and then as he's starting to come up, do you see how I'm elevating my hips immediately? Like, so he comes through, he's cranking really hard. By the time when it starts getting tight for me, I'm heisting up. And then when he's coming on, like going down, belly down and everything, my hips are still able to come up off of the mat on the left-hand side, believe it or not. Like, I can actually get my hips up, and I can like force myself around his body. So like I can move with him. And so I don't normally feel it. I actually felt, I felt more tension when he fell back for the initial grab. I think, like the first one.
Yeah, like right here.
Right there. That was tight.
Well, your hips are down here too. Like, you haven't gotten them up yet.
That's right. Yeah, so that was the tightest. And then I heist up, and then after that, I'm starting to get, I guess, a little bit of rotation to where I can like drive my knee down towards the mat, and my hips can elevate up. And from there, I think he starts losing the grip here. I think that was he started losing the grip, and then I was able to pop it out. So I imagine if he was able to get the same grip that he had on the initial bite for belly down, I probably would have been in really big trouble.
Hmm.
But I mean, altogether, his straight ankles are nothing to fuck with. So
Yeah. We gotta talk some smack at Camden here, especially because this is Mount Week and this was Thursday, so it was okay. I hadn't taught yet, but I mean, in what world do we lay flat on our back and not or work from that position, right? Caleb gets to mount here. I'm happy that one of your legs is flat, especially if you choose to start working an elbow escape. But you're not going to do it from flat on your back. And I don't care how big Caleb is. Right there, you could have turned. Here you start to, but Caleb's hidden the leg now. The whole purpose of that flat leg is to keep your legs inside here. So this split second is like perfect. If you can get to your side, if you made these toes point in this direction along the mat and got your knee pointing in the same direction, you could start working your elbow escape. No need to bridge. No need to pull that leg up like you did. We're not. I mean, yeah, I know. They're really. I can't think of a reason why you need to do that. I know you're being attacked with like an arm isolation. He's looking for maybe an Americana or something. But you still turn in that direction. Keep your hip frame. Work your elbow escape. So there's a lot you could do there, Cam, to shore up your mount escapes. Long before you get armbarred like that. Steven's elbow in some trouble.
yeah, I don't think I'm able to get anything on him though. I'm really just trying to wear him down here because he's very strong up top. I was trying to isolate to start getting into an armbar or a katagatame or something along those lines. In fact, I was trying to throw my leg over for a triangle, I believe. Yeah, that's right. I remember that. So I'm trying to get to an arm triangle. And then I'm like, if he's gonna drive that arm down, which is what he wants to do, I'm gonna drive my right knee up and then take a big step over with my left leg. So now I know that he wants to get his right arm down to the mat. So I'm trying to fight it up.
Nice.
And then that way I can switch over into
Now you
this
gotta
one.
pick his big old head up off the mat.
Try.
Yeah.
This was very, like, it was really difficult. So I sat down into an armbar, into a 3/4 juji. It was a really awkward sit down the way that I did that, but it felt right at the time.
I mean, I don't know if I'd. Let's look at it again. Because like you made the switch. I feel like it was based on where Steven's left elbow was.
Yeah, it was.
And then
You see how tight he was to my body? Like,
Yeah.
And like, so he was definitely, his arm was like, he was trying to get his left shoulder down to the mat the whole time.
Yeah. I honestly like the way you sat down on that is exactly how I think it should be done. Like you're getting your leg in place, your hands planted on the mat, indicating where your weight is. It's in this direction. You get your feet set, then you sit back. Like, I mean, we've talked about that, at least once in the last, once per the last few streams, we've seen guys going for arm bars and then they just,
That's true.
they flop back or they fall long before they're ready in an uncontrolled manner. And like, that's what a controlled sit down looks like. And you didn't, like you just said, Steven's trying real hard to get his elbow free this whole time. And a nice, slow, controlled sit-down like that is essential for preventing it. Definitely brown belt caliber. That's right, James. But yeah, that's a huge part of it. That's where so many people lose the arm when they go for arm bars is just sitting back too quickly. Cool stuff.
Yep.
Excellent
That's a good
stuff
night.
tonight, everybody. Yeah. thank you guys for tuning in. We hope you all had a great weekend, and capping it off with us. We always appreciate it. If you like what you're doing, you can subscribe here and follow. Really helps the channel out a lot. You can support us over at coffee.com/MOBJJ as well. Thank you. We'll put this up on the YouTube soon. Follow us over there as well. And yeah, we got you guys are very welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks everyone for the chat too.
Yeah, glad you could join us, Pat. Bring any questions y'all have to class, anything we talked about here. You know, we're always open to going over stuff with you guys at the open mat. So, do your laundry, trim your nails, don't be stinky, and get your asses back on the mats. We'll see you guys this week.
See you tomorrow.
Later.
Later.